All-Star Weekend was All-Star Weekend. For me, All-Star Weekend was absolute garbage. Like, it wasn't bad. It
Come
wasn't
on.
terrible. It wasn't even hot garbage. It was that nasty water that you see dripping from the garbage truck when it's driving away from your house. That's what
Right.
the All-Star game was. It was absolutely pathetic, Chris.
Okay, I thought the Rising Stars or whatever they call it challenge, I thought that was great to watch. I thought Saturday, for the most part, was okay. I'm going to talk about the dunk contest as a a standalone there. The game was there was no defense. It was not competitive. I'll give you that Sunday, but to throw out All Star Weekend as junk, it's not true. And obviously everybody else didn't feel that way. I guess viewership's up, some people say 16, some people say 20% over last year. So people love the NBA because they are, they don't have helmets on. They are approachable. You get to see them. You get to hopefully see their personalities and their skill sets. It was fun. Other than the game, it was really fun.
Well, first off, let's start with the game got, was 16 to 20% higher because they didn't know that the game was just going to be absolute garbage water. Okay.
Right,
They didn't know that. So they're going into it thinking, hey, this is going to be good. Maybe they'll actually compete, but they didn't. It turned
right,
into a 30-foot shot, walk in layup, just an absolute terrible weekend. Now, you
right,
mentioned the dunk contest,
right.
and the dunk contest was equally as horrible, Chris. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, you got guys that people don't even know that were out there. I mean, look, if you can't make it to the NBA and that's who we're gonna have in the dunk contest, why not just go out and get guys that are professional dunkers to go be in the contest?
Well,
Don't bring me
okay.
Matt McClung. I don't want to hear that.
Right,
Go get
right.
guys that all they do for a living is travel around the country throwing on dunk contest shows. Go get those guys and bring them
Yeah.
out here. But what we
So
saw on Saturday was terrible.
you're admitting the problem with the dunk contest. It needs star power, right? Because we're not going to see a different dunk than we've seen before. And everybody's saying, "Oh man, Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine, that was the best one." Okay, no, 85 dunk contests. They literally did everything there. Richardson was behind the leg, between the legs, behind his back, all before that. We're not going to see a unique dunk. What we want to see is our stars participate and the competitiveness of it. But I'm blaming the fans. Just like, I like to do this with the Cowboys fans. The dunk contest. What are you expecting? It's the same rim, it's the same height, it's the same ball. My goodness. So now we got to go get a professional dunker in
Yes.
Mac McClung, a guy who couldn't even play a 10-day contract to see something different. I don't know if you watched the college slam dunk contest. It was amazing. It was amazing. Why don't we just let some stars go out there and dunk and set our expectations? I know what Vince Carter did and put a lot of pressure on those guys. They wouldn't go out there and get embarrassed. But that's because we're expecting too much.
I mean, maybe, but part of the problem is this generation of players. First of
Right?
all, we've seen it. They don't want to compete. We just saw the All-Star game. They don't go out there and compete. So they're
Right?
afraid of going into the dunk contest, missing a couple of dunks, and people bad mouthing them. That's where the
Okay.
problem comes in. So you don't get started, LeBron included. And I'm a LeBron fan, LeBron included. He
Right.
never did it because he was afraid if he didn't win it, that people were going to badmouth him.
Right.
Well, people badmouthed him anyway because he didn't even participate. So
Well, and
the
that's because
bottom,
he also wanted to go in the layup lines every week and treat it like a dunk contest. He was doing
correct.
stuff early in his career in the layup lines, and we're like, either you like dunking and putting on a show for the people, or you don't. You can't have
Yes.
it both ways. You
Well,
know.
he was even going into his kids' layup line when they're playing at school in an AAU ball. He's going in their layup lines,
Right.
putting on these dunks. I'm like, okay, LeBron, what are we doing here? But I think that you're
Right.
right. I think you're right about it as far as star power. But I mean, I'm just saying as a whole, the All Star Weekend needs an overhaul. And look, we can say that the dunk contest was fine. It wasn't. It was terrible. The skills
Right.
competition, it was the best thing. And the 3-point competition was great. But there's the
Right.
key word: competition. When
Right.
there's real competition, I mean, why was Jalen Brown in the dunk contest? I mean, just seriously, why
I
was
don't know.
Jalen Brown in the dunk contest? A guy that can't dribble with his left hand. Why is
Right.
he out there, Chris? Why?
the dunk contest used to be the best in-game dunkers, and the league would go pick them out and say, "Look, come be in the dunk contest." Now, I don't know
Um,
if they had the best dunk contest guys there. I really don't.
and they
Um,
don't. But I'm gonna
you're
let you have this moment because we got a
that's right.
comment here of your
Yeah,
favorite guy, Dominique Wilkins, in the
yeah,
dunk contest. I didn't realize
man,
Dominique he did it 5 times.
right.
5 times.
He did it 5 times because he got robbed. He got robbed in Chicago, everybody knew it. He should be a three-time champ, and that would have mean he would have won 3 out of 4, and he'd have been done. Dominique's the best, in-game dunker of all time. I think he's the
Ooh.
second best dunk contest dunker of all time, and I think that he just lived in the shadow of the greatest player, and that's why he's not remembered with the revelry he should be. Dominique Wilkins, you go back and watch 85 dunk contests, no contest, Dominique. You go watch the 88 in Chicago, no contest, Dominique. But I get it. I get it. Chicago, you got to do the hometown thing. And
So
Aaron
it was
Gordon
no
was
hold
all
on, wait a second.
right.
So you're saying that and I think it was 86, but
Right.
that All-Star game in Chicago was no contest? Like
No
Jordan, it
contest.
was no contest?
If I remember right, is that the year that Jordan went from the free throw line twice? Like,
I
how
don't
do
know
you
if he
get a
did it
50 both
twice. I know he
times?
walked on the air. I do know that. I know he was
Yeah.
walking on air.
Yeah.
Dominique
I
didn't walk
mean,
on air.
I guess, I mean, let's give it hometown advantage. And then we bring in, I think Spud wins it the
He
year
beat
Meeks
Dominique
hurt.
one year. Yeah, that
Yeah. And
was
I'm like, get,
okay.
get out of here. It's
I give you that.
insane.
I give you
That's
that.
insane. But they had to keep that distance between Dominique and MJ because in those years they were both 31 a game. And nobody wants to talk about that. But that's my conspiracy theory right there. So I'll stop it.
Hmm. My man Ryan Krause comes up with how about we stop talking exhibition events or taking exhibition events so seriously? What are we going to do next? Give the winner All-Star game home field advantage in the NBA playoffs? Do we really want to go there? Or we can just have them compete. It's an exhibition game. How about we just see some competition, Ryan? There's nothing wrong with guys going out there and competing to win. They used to do it all the time and nobody said anything. Matter of fact, the All-Star game became iconic like it is
Right.
because guys tried to win it at the end. So if we're saying don't take it so seriously, well then don't even have the game. That
But
that
they
would be my
they
thing.
they bashed the format they had most recently when they didn't have East and West. They had LeBron and KD or LeBron and Giannis, and they picked their
Picking the
teams,
teams. Yeah.
and then they played in the fourth quarter and played, to a certain score. It got super competitive. I thought that was a great, a spectacle for the fans, but people picked that apart too. So I'm like, I think that a little bit of it is us just wanting too much. Used to be we went out and watched the best players in the world do a lot of things we couldn't do. And now everybody can do it from their comfy couch like myself, and it's not enough. And I think that's part of the problem. Like, I can't hit half court shots. I mean, I think Dame Lillard was 2 for 3 from half court. That was incredible. Why don't we
Hmm.
talk about that as opposed to, well, nobody played defense. You're not guarding anybody at half court, and that was amazing. It was fun to watch.
So we're excited about a guy taking a half court shot where nobody's guarding him in a game setting. Is that what it's come to? That
You're
we're
right.
we're okay with that?
If he was just chunking it up and not hitting it, I'd be like, "Damn, you're making a mockery of it." You go 2 for 3 and you're hey, that's a better three-point percentage than anybody else did. He was doing it in the bubble. People were going crazy. Logo Lillard in the bubble was awesome. Does it in the All-Star game and making a mockery of it. It's like, I mean,
It's
come
not
on.
the same shot, and you know it. It's not the
It
same.
was 10 feet further away.
And
Okay.
nobody guarding him. And nobody
I
guard.
mean,
No competition, no resistance, no nothing. Just no nothing. Just a guy. Not to mention, they're professionals. So let's not no,
right?
let's not forget about
No,
that.
no.
These you mentioned it. They're the best players in the world. They can
Right?
make a shot from that deep. I mean, it's not impossible. Clearly, it's not impossible for them to do.
Sure.
I just think if you're going to go out there and put on a game, look, the NFL took the Pro Bowl away for that simple fact because it
Right.
became non-competitive.
And they
And
put
I
in
get it because
games.
guys get hurt a lot
Sure.
more. But they try to bring up, oh, guys are getting hurt. I go, when was the last time you saw a guy, or just say in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, where you saw a guy get hurt in the NBA All-Star game? When did that happen? when the games were competitive. When did you see that happen? The
I
answer
didn't. I
would be
don't.
never. You
I don't
never
think.
saw it happen. Now, I'm
Well,
not
it's a
saying it
one.
can't,
Right. It's a
but it
1 in
didn't.
83 chance, right? I mean, they got 82 games. They play a lot of games. So I would hate to think it would happen in 15 minutes of competition there. You talked about the Pro Bowl going away and them just doing some games. What kind of games could we like to see? Some people said 3-on-3,
Yep.
2-on-2, one
Yep.
on one. They could play the game they play in the Olympics, which is what I always use for my arguments with anybody about NBA players. Essentially the king of the hill kind of game where your KDs and your Carmelos are unstoppable. I think people would love to in their primes. They would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those guys would talk about going out and being embarrassed. Missing a dunk is not going to be as hard as Luca couldn't stop any of the other All Stars, right? That would
Yeah.
be embarrassing. Then Luca would not be participating in the All Star game. You lose that whole country, whole region of viewers and demographic. I mean, he can't even move his feet. I don't know, so he can stay in front of me.
I mean, that's part of it,
That's
though. I
what
mean, again, but here's
Has
the
he?
thing: you get Luca in a competitive setting. Luca's a different animal, so it's not fun to watch when guys are going. They're not even going half speed. They might be going
Right.
quarter speed. That isn't fun basketball. That's not fun to watch. Nobody wants to watch that. At least give us something. They gave us absolutely nothing, and that's
Okay.
to me that's the problem. It's like if you're going to go out there, the game is for the fans. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's for the fans. Well, if it's for the fans, then give us a little bit. I'm not saying you have to go out there and play like it's a game 7. Nobody's saying that. But you do have to go out there and give some effort. They just didn't give any effort. Well, you watch what the ratings are next year. I mean, we talk about the ratings be 20% higher this year. Watch what the ratings are next year because people are going to remember. People are finicky. People are petty. They'll remember and they'll want to move on.
The ratings are going to go nuts next year, and I'm going to tell you why. I went back and watched the alternate broadcast with Chuck, uh, and I thought first of all, he carried it. It was hilarious. It was the most entertaining thing. So I watched it in several YouTube clips and other various medias. That was awesome. The alternate broadcast will be the reason everybody tunes in next year.
Hmm.
That's the only thing people are talking about. 211 points and the alternate broadcast. So
Hmm.
those are the takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. You could be right. I don't think you are, but you could be. You could absolutely be right. I've seen some. So, and there's a comment over here. So we watch basketball games or NBA games to watch competitive basketball. All Star Weekend is fun and entertainment. Well, was that
Yeah.
fun and entertaining? No, that's the difference. It was not fun. It was not entertaining. Not to mention, it is an NBA game because it's nothing but NBA guys. But I get it. It's an exhibition game, but at least put on an exhibition then. That's the thing. It wasn't even an exhibition. It wasn't worth watching.
I don't know. Are you one of those guys that tries to take cues from preseason football? You know,
I don't
he's
even
like,
watch preseason football. I watch
okay,
no
all right,
preseason football.
okay,
Not
just
one
making
second of
sure.
it.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Okay,
want no part of it. People, oh, you got to
okay,
watch preseason football to
no,
find out what's going on
no,
with fantasy. No, no, I'm not
it's
watching any because it means
yeah,
absolutely nothing. And when
it's
when the
completely
real games
irrelevant.
start, it means absolutely nothing. So
Okay,